How's it going, everybody? Thank you for joining us today on this Thursday, 20th of June, 2024. We'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining us here today on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, Rumble, and Pill.net.
And if you haven't already, please take a moment and hit that thumbs up button if you're on Rumble or YouTube. Take that red pill if you're over on Pilled. And smash that heart if you're over on X. And don't forget to comment. We absolutely love it. And
We do.
Sharing is caring. And we love each and every one of you.
We do. It's Thursday.
It is Thursday.
You said it was kind of Monday-y, though.
Yeah, because I had yesterday off. So it just
felt like, yeah. So Wednesdays off in the middle of the week. Not so bueno.
No.
Whatever. Hey, it was a day off, though. I mean, we all got Aaron's birthday off.
I know. Where is he?
I don't know. He hadn't shown up yet. Showing up late. He must still be sleeping off his
birthday
birthday hangover.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going with.
Yeah, we'll go with that. So, Miss Denise in the house. We
There's
had so
Denise.
much fun with you last night.
Yeah,
I hope
it was a great
you
time.
enjoyed it as much as we did.
It was a great time. Thank you, Denise.
F. Clint in the house.
Yo, what's up, F. Clint? Here's Lightspear and Bethany Ann. What's going on, Lightspear?
He was potting a plant.
Was potting a plant. Or planting a pot.
Whichever.
Hmm.
Miss Bethany
There's
Ann
Bethany.
wants to say hi to all the fam. Let's see.
Oh my God, ABC is reporting a heat wave. Oh no, it's summer. Yes.
Yes.
There's
Yeah.
Yeah, there's heat.
I know.
Surprise in summer. Oh my God. Who would have thought?
God.
Who would have seen it coming? Hey Jan, what's up, Graham Jan?
Miss Steph
Sending much
in the
love,
house.
much love back. There we go.
Yeah,
How you doing, Steph?
He's probably
chasing the dinosaurs.
Yeah,
Dino chickens.
Probably.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
You know what? The dino chickens, got to keep them in line. Otherwise they'll start to think they can take over.
Okay, she enjoyed it. That's
Good. I'm glad.
Miss Bethany went over to YouTube.
Woot, woot. Thank you, Bethany.
Let's see. Miss Jenny.
Jenny.
Watch out for the frogs, Jenny.
Hope you're doing good, Jenny. And make sure y'all are following Jenny. If y'all don't follow Jenny on TikTok, make sure you're
really
following Jenny
should.
because she's really got some good videos. And then sometimes when Christians' videos get taken down, they somehow, like the what is it, duets or whatever.
Yeah.
You can find them there, blowing pot smoke on a plant. Hey, whatever works, man.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever works. If that makes them grow, go for it.
They're happier plants that way.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's exactly how that works, but it's worth an experiment. In the name of science, right? Yeah, it's for science.
Well, there's that. Oh, he was just kidding.
Just kidding. Well, of course.
And
it's all fun and games right now. American Stylist.
And
then Jenny B801.06.
Yes.
Yes.
Follow her on TikTok. She's
make sure y'all are following her.
Amazing. Miss Bethany showing off again.
There you go. Just type in everybody's names.
Show off. I'm sure Bethany had a wonderful day after her day off yesterday too.
Well, I mean, days off.
Day off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not really a day off.
Well, I mean, we do it. We call it whatever we want.
Yeah,
it's all made up anyway.
Well, yeah, it was a made-up holiday yesterday.
It's all made up anyway.
I mean,
so let's see. Well, Kay's still obviously doing all of the things there, trying to get it ready. It's been kind of a Monday in its own right.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Well, I mean,
I barely got the show up like 4 minutes before.
God, 2 Mondays in 1 week? That's a terrible idea.
Terrible. Hi, Miss Tammy.
Hey, Tammy, what's going on?
Thank you, Miss Bethany.
Right.
So
there's
so much going on.
There's always something going on. It's how they keep people in a state of fear. I mean,
don't have fear.
Kind of their goal.
Because God wins. And God says, do not fear 365
I will say their efforts are starting. It does. And I will say that their efforts are starting to look more and more weak every day.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they'll have some kind of a grand finale of some sort.
Yeah. I hope so.
Well, I hope not. Hope this just like the movie ends soon. The lights come on, curtains go. Everybody's like, oh, this was all BS. Yes, it was. Thank God.
Oh, goodness. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
We got the good Baldwin.
The good Baldwin.
Ready?
Wonder who he could be playing.
I don't know.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay.
Good morning, Hollywood. I have another very important prophetic message for you. Yes, you have been quite the disruptor for many decades. Hollywood has been the great disruptor. But now, in the future, Hollywood itself will be disrupted. As you're seeing now behind the scenes, dropping like flies, Hollywood is being disrupted. So good luck and God bless out there, kids, because you're going to need it. Let's hear it for the disruption.
All right.
Thoughts?
Okay, I understand he's an actor, and so it's going to be a little strange. Yeah, his videos have kind of creeped me out a little. Yeah, I agree, Jenny. That's all right. It's all right. It's a Thursday acting like a Monday. Um, uh, Look, I know people from Hollywood are weird, and I know that he's sending a message across, but I have a feeling that it's almost feels like it's kind of a inside kind of
There's Aaron.
dig at somebody. There's Aaron. Were you getting treated by your dino chickens, man? Are you all right? We were praying for you. We were worried.
Exactly.
Anyways,
Slap you on back.
so Baldwin, right? Like there's a lot there that I don't understand what's going on. And then there was the whole ninja and the bouncing ghost emojis.
Yeah, is that supposed to be good and evil?
Well, I don't know. What does ninja ghost mean?
Hey, Colleen.
Hey, Colleen.
I don't know. Ghost in the machine? I don't know. It could be anything.
I mean,
He had to go grab beer.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh,
He
good.
supplied.
So long as you're getting your carbs in, that's all that matters.
Right.
Because you got that marathon you got to run. Anyways.
Ghost Army?
Ghost Army. Yeah. I mean, I guess that could certainly be the case. But like, I don't know. There was some weird vibes off of that whole thing, but I have a feeling that he was talking about that. But at the same time, we are seeing Hollywood get kind of spread to the winds. We're seeing Hollywood like different movies, different shows, different everything. It's not all done in Hollywood anymore. It's almost like every state is getting its own like little movie industry of its own.
Mm-hmm.
And then the big industries will probably rent out space at the studios and whatnot. But I see that it's changing, and I don't know. We know that we haven't seen a whole lot of good actors lately. We haven't seen a whole lot of it's mental health beer. Okay. Yeah, that's what we'll go with, Aaron. Okay. Denise says it's either purposeful to point to the Ghost Army for Pog, or he's like a pace man. Just weird. Yeah, it is weird. But there's a lot of big names we haven't seen. Like where's Brad Pitt? We haven't seen him do anything, have we?
I know.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
They call Atlanta the new Hollywood. Oh, well, yeah, that's because they have the White House out there, but that's been getting used. Yeah, I don't even know if that's going to do very well either. I think there's going to be a lot of competition, which will be good in general. Hey, Heidi, thanks for joining. So it's kind of Pac-Man. That's kind of what I thought you were getting at, but yeah.
Who knows?
How does autocorrect not know who Pac-Man is?
I know.
All right, tons of
they
sidetracks
think every time I want to say the F word that I want to say duck.
Well,
duck
yeah,
you.
because the hand. You know, it's because it's the duck. We played that video.
So stupid. Speaking of Hollywood, Shipwreck's going to talk about Hollywood.
All
real
right.
quick.
I do love Shipwreck. She's
You
awesome.
ready?
Yeah.
This is a video that Donald Trump does not want you to see. Booga booga.
You have an obligation to be a part of that decision. You might think it's not important. You might think you're not important, but that's not true. And the only way we can prove that to you is by having lots of famous people. Lots of famous people.
Lots and lots of famous people.
Just a shit ton of famous people. But you only get this many famous people together if the issue is one that truly matters to all of us. A disease or ecological crisis or...
All right, that's enough. Boy here on X is trying to bring this video back as if it's something current, but the video is actually from 2016, the election of 2016 between Hillary Clinton and Donald J. Trump. It is now 2024, and I think I can speak for the majority of districts is that we do not listen to what those in the Capitol have to say any longer when it comes to the decisions that are being currently made in our everyday lives. We in the district cannot afford bread. We in the district cannot afford cake. We in the district cannot afford to put any kind of food on our table right now. We in the district cannot pay our rent. We cannot pay our mortgages half the time. We in the district, even if we could afford to buy a house, we can't afford to buy a house because you'd just be upside down on it to begin with because of the interest rates. We in the district are horrified to see millions and millions of dollars of our tax money going to other countries so that they can go to war with each other, so that they can bomb each other off the map and bomb their children off the map. We in the district are fucking tired of hearing anything that the people in the Capitol have to say. I venture to say that a lot has changed from 2016 to 2024. Because if it hadn't, you would see videos like this of celebrities coming out and saying very much of the same thing. You'd be seeing it now, but you're not. Because Hollywood is done. Because we can't afford to go to your movies anymore. And we can't afford to buy your makeup anymore. And we can't afford to do anything that has to do with Hollywood any longer. We don't care about your STAG Awards, and we don't care about your Oscars, and we don't care about your Emmys. Nobody gives a shit what you're wearing. Jennifer Lopez tried to do some kind of tour and then ended up having to cancel the entire thing because nobody bought any tickets. They brought ticket prices down to Jennifer Lopez's concert to $10 motherfucking dollars, and people still didn't buy them. We here in the district are fed the fuck up. We're baking our own bread and we're starting our own gardens and we're keeping our families and our community close because literal shit is about to hit the fan. But you want to know who's going to be affected the least by the literal shit? It is going to be us here in the district. You know that during the Great Depression, there was actually people, and quite a few people, who weren't really affected by what was happening with the Great Depression because they were so used to being poor. They're coming for you, Hollywood. Politicians, multimillionaires. See, we know how to survive without being a multimillionaire. We know how to make it work. We know how to ration things out. We know how to stretch our last time. We here in the district are going to survive. And we are done letting Hollywood influence us in any decision making that has to do with our everyday lives. So every single celebrity out there can get fucked and stay fucked.
Because we're old poor. We know.
Yeah, we're all broke.
We're old broke.
Yeah, the new broke, they're having a hard time trying to figure it out, but the old broke, you know,
I'm okay with
we
some
already know what's
beans and
going on.
rice.
Like, yeah,
we know.
Yeah, I'm used to beans, rice, and some wish meat. I've had that. That's easy. That's good eats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Which Shipwreck said. Exactly. And so that was the first time I heard about J-Lo had to cancel her tour because she couldn't even sell tickets for $10 a seat.
$10.
$10.
$10.
People don't even have $10 for that.
Mm-mm.
Wow. Like she's been around for like a time and another time, a time and a half. I mean, she's been around for quite some time. And the fact that
Ryan, wish meat.
Hey,
What does
Ryan,
that
what's going
taste
on, man?
like? Wish meat is damn.
Tastes
I
like-
wish I had some meat.
Yeah, it tastes like whatever you want it to taste like, sir. Just whatever you want. So it's like $10.
I know.
Like J-Lo can't even make her fans holla for $10. I need $50 to make you holla.
I get paid to do the.
Well,
Anyway.
no, you don't.
No, not me. No.
She does though.
Mhm.
Well, she's gonna have to drop her price.
$5.
$5. Maybe she should have tried $5. Maybe she just should have tried it for the price of concessions. Oh, that's right. Oh God, you pay your $5 to get in, and then you can't even afford the concessions.
I know.
Hmm,
They want like $800 for a soda.
I know. As if you want a soda anymore, especially
know.
since they've been doing all the recalls on that. But with that being said, this goes back to the Hollywood thing. We haven't seen any of those actors in anything at all, as far as I can tell. They're all going broke if they're still alive. I'm pretty sure that a lot of them got wrapped up in a lot of this stuff too, because of everything that we've heard about Hollywood. And then I do believe that some of them are playing actors like Jim Carrey. You know, like the list of actors are out there. It's
Getting in
is the cheap part.
part.
Yeah, it's your soul that they're trying to take.
I know.
So it's like, yeah, they're going broke and they're not going to know how to do this because they're used to having the resources. And if they can't pay the
Mhm.
people that actually know what they're doing to continue the charade and to continue the psychological operation that they got used to playing, and they can't afford it anymore, because we had talked about that quite a few months ago, where the CIA was basically saying we can't afford to keep up the things that you want us to keep up.
Yeah.
Like, that was an article that came out. And of course, we haven't heard anything else about that again in quite some time. But with that being said, it's becoming more and more apparent. And so
Mhm.
these people that have been used to living on the high hog, living in that high cotton, on the plantation that they own, they're going to lose their plantation because everybody's like, we're not getting anything out of this. We're just working our asses off, and they're trying to make us hate each other, as if I
Yes.
hate anybody because of X, Y, or Z, whatever it is they say. It makes no difference to me. I just want to see the people who are making everything miserable actually have to do the work they expect us to do. And then we get to
Mhm.
sit back and watch them do all the hard work and tell them things like, yeah, I know you were in a car accident, but you can come in, right?
Right.
By the way, that happened to Nick as a follow-up. He's like survived, and he's out of the hospital, so he's doing okay.
He's hurting,
But yeah, he's
though.
hurting for certain. So keep your prayers up for Nick. We do appreciate that. Heidi says, don't forget the price of parking, and who wants to venture into the heart of the city when you have to step around drug addicts and keep looking over your shoulder to keep from being mugged or worse. Yeah, and that's an excellent point.
Amen.
Yeah, excellent point, Heidi. It's who wants, I mean, we don't
We
even,
don't- we
we're
don't
not
want
even
that.
in the city. We're on the
Yeah.
outskirts of the city, and it's still too close.
Mhm.
I know. Yeah, looking for about 5,000 acres. If anybody knows where a good deal on 5,000 acres, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, is these people don't understand that, like Steph said, I'm okay with some beans, some potatoes, and some cornbread.
Mhm.
That's a good meal.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
a very good meal.
Well, we were looking through the Bob's Red Mill, not a paid promotion by any means, but we get
I
a
just
lot of the
love
stuff.
it.
Yeah, we love them. And they have like bean soup mix. They have different mixes
Mhm. That
of
would be so much better for in case
in
of
case of, because you
emergency
just need
food.
water.
Yeah.
You throw these things in water, you boil them,
So
and you
that
got some
freeze
food.
dried crap.
Same thing with rice.
Mhm.
It's just a matter of having rice and some of that, and the freeze dried stuff is good,
Mhm.
but some of it's a little off, and then
Mhm.
some of it's just terrible. So,
Exactly.
but there's always a desire for some kind of variety, and the cleaner the food is, the
Mhm.
better off you'll be, because in the end, you're just looking to take in calories if you have to dip into some kind of in case of kind of food or something
Right.
like that. Spaghetti is yummy too. Oh, spaghetti. The Pisquettes. I love the
Mhm.
Pisquettes. There's a reason I hatched out 43 new chickens this year, mainly to fill my freezer. I
Mhm.
thought you couldn't eat the dino chickens.
Not those. He has other chickens.
He's got meat chickens?
Mhm.
All right. Well, I mean,
Oh, we
gotta
have
do what you
lots
gotta
of
do.
pasta too, Jenny.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's
Gotta
an
have the pasta.
Italian
I mean,
household.
look, it's great carbs. Great
It's
carbs.
great.
Yeah.
But before we move on, I do want to say,
Yeah.
In case any of y'all haven't seen, Nick was in a terrible, terrible car accident. And if you guys could just keep him in your prayers, his company, complete,
Not too
utter
much information.
douchebags.
Yeah. They're
you know,
douchebags.
And so
It
just
was
keep
you're
him.
coming in though, right? Kind of scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just keep him in your prayers. And he feels very blessed because he knows God was watching over him.
Yeah.
Because when I say it was a bad accident, it was a bad
It was,
accident.
like the whole front clip of the car is
Gone.
gone.
So if you guys could just do that, I would truly appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank
without
you,
a doubt.
Miss Denise.
Thank you. Yeah.
So you ready?
Yes.
I have a song for you.
A song?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You ready?
I guess so.
Oh, wait. Aaron has something to say.
Oh, wait,
Hold
what's
on.
Aaron got to say? Santino, I have had chickens since 2022. The dino chickens technically can be eaten, but they run for $80 a day. Old chicken right now. If I hatch some out this fall, I can buy a lot of beef for $80. Well, yeah, that's true.
That's true.
But just having the chickens in general, it gives you kind of a perpetual bartering tool. And
Nick
I
is a
think,
very good friend, Heidi. Thank you.
yeah, not sure who. Yeah, thank you, Heidi. Nick actually was on the show back when we first started, a good couple of years ago. You can see some of the old videos. He's there. He's a good guy, and yeah, just making his way through life like the rest of us.
Exactly. Brian, no, I am not. One day I might sing, but not today.
One
we
day.
we have someone else who's going to sing. You ready?
Speaking of singing one day, I missed that game. What was that game?
Rock band.
Rock Band.
Are you ready?
That was amazing. Of course, they don't make good games like
I
that
know.
anymore. Yeah, clowns. Whatever.
It's a good song. Listen.
All right, I'm listening
Ready?
to the song now.
Former President Donald Trump will be headed into the 2024 presidential election as a convicted felon.
I'm voting for a felon in 2024. And if he's got to swear anywhere in prison, don't you move the old turn, set a Secret Service at the door. Cause I'm voting for a felon in 2024. I look at them celebrating, guess they think they got him beat. It's a party in the Matrix like that guy Keanu Reeves. It shows how far they take it when they know they can't compete. They must be higher than inflation and the ratings on TV. 4 more years of Don's their biggest spin. They work too hard to get his hip. Put Joe in the car, but he can't shift gears cause the wheel to Kamala let her steer. The old man's lost in the basement. He's so far gone, gotta fake it. Now they're gonna wanna scream law and order. Haven't done a thing about our southern border. Well, I'm voting for a felon in 2024. And if he's got to swear and we're in prison, don't you move the overturn, set a Secret Service at the door. Cause I'm voting for a felon in 2024.
Thoughts?
This is a good song. There's going to be a lot of indie creators now. And we're seeing that. But we're seeing that because we, the people, are taking like our lives back, even though they're trying to suppress and hide everybody. People are finding their way on TikTok. People are finding their way on YouTube. People are finding their way in so many other places, and people are recognizing that they don't want to go through the legacy music industry because it seems like there's a lot of strings attached.
It's a lot of BS.
Yeah, that people just don't feel like being a part of. And so that's yeah, I love seeing all of these new creators. I think it's good, and it's nice to see that. And obviously there's some good material out right now because of all the ridiculousness that is going
Easy
on.
for you to say.
Well, look, it's low hanging fruit. You know, I'm voting for a felon in 2024. I mean, you could probably write a million songs about that because it's just contrary to everything that I know I ever thought I would have seen earlier in my life. Like, I just didn't think that like it would get to this point.
I know.
I knew that the country was going downhill. I had no idea that the country was going downhill at such a fast pace. And I think that that's something that surprised each and every one of us, is how fast it's gone downhill. But the good thing is that it's for our generation. It's for our kids' generation, and maybe some of their kids too, depending upon, you know, how old and everything. But with that being said, the thing is it's happening right now. Aaron says, I still buy CDs. I want to own my copy of whatever music I buy. See, that's another thing too. I want to have a physical copy of it. I know you can roll your eyes all you want, but the point is if I buy something, it needs to be tangible. It's kind of like these people who buy the gold futures on the stock exchange.
Don't forget your My Pillow towel, sir.
Hey, what's up, Rambo? What's going on, brother? Lurking and showering. Well, thanks for joining us in the shower.
I hope he has.
I wonder if he was
pillow.
singing in the shower.
But that song he probably was,
He probably
because it was good.
It was a good song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, CD is no bueno. What? Why is CD no bueno? Is something better than CDs?
I don't know.
Anyways, I want my physical copy. I agree.
I
with
know
you,
you
Aaron.
do.
Yeah,
I know you do. I hear it all the time. I know.
What? All they have to do, it's like the cars nowadays. You can just flip a switch, change the Bluetooth, poof. You know, somebody else is driving your car. They can shut off your internet in a second. You have nothing anymore.
Hey, Miss Carol.
Hey,
you
Carol.
lurk away, sweetie.
Lurk away, ma'am. Lurk away. Anyways, okay, we should move on.
Yes. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Liberals
Yes.
versus veterans.
Mm,
You ready?
interesting.
It's a good group of boys. We're all gonna die together out here. You're a good group of boys to die with, I'll tell you that much. You should have come here.
They cut part of it.
I missed like half of it.
He said,
Thank you, Ryan.
yeah, I knew he was going to agree with
But
it.
he should agree.
Anyway,
He knows better.
he said, oh, we're in the woods. This is going to be a good group to unalive with because they were stealing the U-turn sign because it's offensive.
Because U-turn signs are offensive. Yeah. You know, I actually made a comment on one of those because they took down that U-turn sign, I think somewhere in like
California.
I think it was San Francisco,
Mhm.
whatever it was. And they were making a big deal of it because it's like, well, they just didn't want gays to go cruising. And it's like, bruh, I grew up in Vegas and I remember when they shut it down here because that's all we did was we cruised the strip. The strip used to be a bunch of, you know, teenagers and 20 somethings driving around, showing off your car, talking to the girls.
Mhm.
That's the thing that you did. It's the same thing when I was stationed in
We have-
Virginia Beach. You used to cruise up and down. I think they called it the Strand, if I remember correctly. And, you know, I'd take my motorcycle up and down, you know, you'd have a good time, talk with your friends. I mean, yeah, did some people take it to extremes? Yeah, because, you know, you always have the I'm an alpha male, blah, blah, blah. And they have to show the world how strong they are because they took like 2 weeks of, you know, karate or something. But the thing is it's like they're trying to make it about them. And it was like, no, it was everybody. You're not a special little snowflake. They weren't just singling you out because you were gay. They were singling out everybody because they were having a good time and they were spending time with each other and communities were being created of like-minded people. And it was all based off of the car culture, which was very American once upon a time. Now I can't look at one car and not see 3 other makes that have the exact same frame and everything else, and they look practically the same. Okay, Bethany shared Lightspear's comment. Oh, my truck is 15 years old with a CD player and it's standard. See, Jelly. Definitely want a standard transmission.
Nobody will be able to steal it.
Yeah, you just leave the keys in it.
I know, leave the keys in
because
it.
anybody who knows how to drive
yeah.
a standard actually cares. Oh, wow, that's cool.
If anyone steals it, it would be me or Santino.
We wouldn't,
no.
No.
Come to Canada. and
Looking for an
steal
old
it.
Jeep. That's what I want.
I know.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
See, Denise loves standards too. It could be Denise. It'd be one of us.
No, nobody's stealing a standard.
I'm just kidding.
We have respect for those who care about
I
cars and the
know.
car culture and the way it should
I
be.
know. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Stop letting people consume you. They didn't call you, go to sleep. They didn't message you back, put your phone down and have a better day. They left you on red, delete the conversation. They didn't make an effort, match their energy. Never let your happiness depend on the actions of other people. And on the other side of things, if a friend hasn't responded to my text, but I see them active on social media, it's probably because they are overtired, overworked, and they're taking a well-deserved break to scroll. You are not entitled to someone else's downtime. True friends understand that you can't pour from an empty cup.
Thoughts?
I'm terrible at all of that. I am not. Yeah, no. One, I barely. Well, I mean, I've been scrolling through TikTok, but not so much as of late. But yeah, getting like texts. Those are probably the thing that I get back to better than anything else. But I don't social media. I don't do any of that. So don't take it personally. I just it's who I am. I lived my life without social media ever since Facebook shut me down. They banned me when everybody was using Facebook. So it kind of made me learn how to live life without a phone up to my face anywhere near as much as a lot of everybody else got used to. As I remember, well, I'm trying to, sell my blacksmithing stuff because I'm making knives. Well, you got to get on Facebook. Well, I'm still banned from Facebook, so that way I can't get on the marketplace, and that caused a lot of problems for me as well. And so, don't take it personally. Don't take things personally. I would say, if people aren't getting back with you, I mean, certainly try to stay in touch with your friends and stuff like that. That's always important. But sometimes recognize that maybe they don't know how to live life that way, and that could be part of it as well.
And Rambo says, I can't hide on social media. My friends get really upset if I don't see a text. And see, here's the thing. People have gotten so used to Santino not answering the phone and not answering text that they will actually just text me
It happens.
and say, can you ask him blah, 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 blah?
Yeah.
Or can you have him contact me? Or.
I mean, that happens. I don't know. I don't like, I would rather be part of a stronger community where everybody's like all working together, and you see them at work, you see them, moving, walking about town. But that's one of the problems with these big cities where everybody's packed in so tight. There's so many people. There's some anonymity. My God, I'm having trouble with words today. Mouth isn't working. Blah, 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 blah.
Hard word Thursday.
Yeah, words are hard Thursday. I don't know. No, let's not curse Thursdays like that.
Let's not.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, so yeah, yeah, that's all I got. I'm not the right person to speak on this one, but I think that he gives out very good advice.
Mm-hmm. I would say that if you are the only person putting forth effort in a friendship, that's not a true friendship.
And
it has to be a two-way street,
Yeah.
just like any other relationship. I hate when people say, oh, it's 50-50. No, it has to be 100-100. So that's my only thing, is make sure that you are being the friend. Match the friend, because we need those people. We need to have those friends. And I'm grateful for people like Joe, and for Denise, and for Aaron and Bethany and Efklin and all of y'all. Y'all are friends. And when I don't see you guys for a while, you can ask Denise. I will reach out. I don't care. I don't have your number. I'll send you a mess on telegrams. There you go.
Rambo hit the nail on the head. Friends aren't wives. And that's true too. That is true. Have patience. Have patience. I don't sit there and ignore everybody. I'm not ignoring anybody. I just suck at technology. I really do. It's not my strong suit.
See, it happens to Jenny too.
Oh, see, he gets so many notifications. So if he doesn't answer them, they message her. It's kind of, one of the things. It gets to be an overload at a certain point in time as well. Yeah, we're human too. I agree. I don't do insecure friends. I'm on a mission. Support or don't, not my issue. I still love my friends, but yep, 100%.
Exactly.
100%.
Guy friends are not wives, is what he was saying, and I get that. I understand that. And sometimes, okay, we'll reach out if I don't see you, because I just want to see if you're okay. That's all.
Kay's much better at that than I am.
I mean, I am.
Huh?
Ryan says, I remember I had to help Santino read his work orders in the morning and write them out for him.
It wasn't that bad.
Kidding.
But they tried to make me use a stupid Adreno phone.
I know.
This world's worst phone.
I know. It's all good.
May as well listen to Elvis instead of Johnny Cash.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Congress has paid over $17 million in hush money for sexual misconduct inside of the offices in these buildings. And what's more is that was taxpayer money, right? The allegation is that President Trump paid $130,000 of his own money. But here in Congress, there may be some on this dais. I mean, I'm for turning loose all of these records. Who in here has had the taxpayer pay for their sexual misconduct charges, the hush money? I bet there's some over there. There may be some over here. I don't know, but I do know it's taxpayer money. And I do know not a single penny of it has been turned in as a campaign finance expense. Is the FEC going to investigate the $17 million that the Congress has paid to settle, behind closed doors, these sexual misconduct allegations?
I'm redoing this video because the one I made where I stitched the original video of that misinformation, but going off somebody in Congress talking about the sexual misconduct by representatives on the Hill from both sides of the aisle paying $17 million in taxpayer money. How is that misinformation when it's coming from the mouth of the guy accusing people where he's going to release the names of people who did it? I just so happen to mention that this happened. It was a Biden staffer. How is that misinformation when it's news? Democrat intern makes pornographic video in a Senate hearing room. That's real. Then I mentioned this. We know the fucking flight logs and the list of names exists, but they sealed the documents during the court case for Giselle, right? And again, I'm going to ask, how is that fucking misinformation? Oh, again, I submitted my appeal for that. Hit with a 404. Somebody's curating my account who works for TikTok. All you're doing is where you stand ethically and what direction your moral compass is pointed, which is south. Because the only thing I also said was that if Trump was on that list that everybody's accusing of being on that list would have already been released, because that's the only way he would not be voted for president by the American people if he was busted on the island doing what everybody else has been accused of doing, the names they won't release. So how is that misinformation? It's going to add the new element of the periodic table, element of surprise. What the fuck?
The element of surprise.
Thoughts?
17 million, huh?
Very interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, interesting. Very interesting. Obviously, there was a calm there.
Hmm.
But we also understand that, I mean, this is something we heard about a little while ago, about how Congress, back when the whole thing was really hot about Trump and paying off Stormy Daniels, even though Stormy Daniels said that absolutely nothing happened, and it was just a money, grab by, what was his name? Was that Avenatti? I don't remember the lawyer's name.
Michael Cohen.
I don't know. They're lawyers, whatever. Anyway, so it kind of it points to the fact it points to the fact that there's tons of corruption and that they use our money to pay off and try to hide. Hey, Wix Vixen, thanks for joining. It shows that they're using our money to pay off all of their problems, to silence everything. It's all about corruption, and it's coming out. This is on the congressional record now, and all of this stuff is going to come out. This is the setup. This is like putting the ball on top of the T-ball stand. And so that way, when Trump gets up there, he can just knock it out of the park and get a whole lot of stuff cleaned up within the first couple of months. And I have a feeling that's what this is, because they can go through the congressional record. And this is all evidence at this point in time. So right now, they're just teeing up the evidence. So that way, once it's go time, once America votes Trump back into office, because I have a feeling they know that they're not going to be able to cheat this one. They're trying to set up for after Trump's second 4 years, and thinks that they're going to be able to, after Trump's second term, or the next 4 years, however you want to look at that one, after Trump's next 4 years, that's what they're setting up for. But I don't think that there's going to be too many of the clowns around that they'll be able to do much of anything, because they're all tied into it with each other. I mean, that's how those staffers get to be where they're at. That's how staffers end up becoming members of Congress, because there's already the dirt on them. They're already part of the club. We have no desire to be part of the club, especially now that we know what it takes to be a part of the club.
Right.
I didn't want to be a part of this stupid club before I knew what it took.
I know.
Well, I don't know. Not really. Yeah.
No. You ready?
Yeah.
Got some Sean Ryan.
Love Sean Ryan.
What isn't a fucking lie?
Well, I would say from, the summer of 1914 until present, really the modern era, the beginning of the First World War till now, most of the big perceptions that we have about that are wrong at every sort of stage. So I don't I don't know the answer to most of the questions.
Where I'm going with this, I mean, even I just interviewed this guy. He's an Afghan resistance fighter.
Yeah.
And I brought him on, and he is telling us, and this has been confirmed by another CIA targeter, which is going to be confirmed. It's leading down the whole rabbit hole of interviews. We're now giving the Taliban $40 million a week. Did you know that?
I'm not surprised at all.
40.
Hold on. 40 times 52. What's that? $2,080,000,000 a year.
Wow.
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 He said since 1914.
Yeah, he brought up 1914. And so there was a lot of stuff going on. And this makes it more and more clear every single day what they were trying to tell us in The Wizard of Oz. Like the Wizard of Oz becomes more relevant each and every day.
Really good interview, right?
That was a great interview. I mean,
We're going to listen to some more.
we're going to listen to. Okay. All right. Then I guess I'm done talking.
Well, do you want to finish?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
No, because I mean, it brings up.
It's going to bring it together.
Yeah, I got you.
You ask a straightforward question, I demand a straightforward answer. Period. And if you're lying to me, the question becomes why? Why are you lying? Why are you attacking me? I didn't do anything. Why are we threatening to kill Julian Assange or trying to put Ed Snowden in prison?
Yeah.
You're the criminal, actually. He's the one who told me that you were a criminal. He's not the criminal. You are. That's my opinion about life, not just about the U.S. government. Anyway, so that completely changed my view. And because Trump was involved, who, again, I just say it again because I mean it. I love Trump personally. I know him quite well and have for, long before he ran for president because I was in the media. And I've always enjoyed him, and I do to this day. But it was not about Trump. It was much deeper than that. And it was very easy to be like, oh, you're a Trump sycophant. Well, of course, I'm not a sycophant to anybody other than maybe my wife. I'm an enthusiastic sycophant. Fine. That's allowed. But I'm not an ass kisser, and I never have been. So that's not a fair response. The question hangs in the air. What's the point of NATO? And a million other questions. Why not have a border wall or whatever? And they had no answer for any of it. And they were wildly defensive. And in a period of just a few months, I lost all respect for them and all desire to live in that city, which was shocking because I'm on the record. I can just tell you what my views were, and I expressed them a lot in print and on television. This is a great city with great people. We make mistakes and Head Start doesn't really work, and I got it. The federal government's too big. I agree. But fundamentally, these are people who are trying their best, and they're pretty impressive people. And they make mistakes, and these programs last too long. But, they're not evil. Okay. They're trying hard. They work hard, and they're smart. And in a few month period, I was like, actually, none of that's true. They're not good people at all. Because now we all know that this whole enterprise is bullshit, and they refuse to get better. They refuse to admit it. And as a former alcoholic, I know the process of just admit it. Just admit it. I'm kind of a loser. It's all right. You can say that because it's true and everyone knows it already. Just admit it and get better. They refused. They're still defending the Iraq War. They're still defending the indefensible Vietnam War. Still pretending we didn't know the Japanese were going to attack Pearl Harbor. Like, there's too many lies. Like, I can't deal with this many lies, actually. And it's very unhealthy to live in a society that is defined by lies. It corrodes your soul. It's bad for you. You go to hell, actually. You're living in hell when you live that way. And all of this came to me in this short period of time, and I couldn't quite articulate it, but I felt it so strongly it affected my sleep. And it really just changed my life forever. And so I would say, and for the better, for the happier, but it's a burden to have all of your pre-existing beliefs explode in a short period of time. It's like, wow. It's like being kicked out of a cult. You're like, I can't believe I live there. You know what I mean?
I think a lot of us know what you mean at this point.
Well, and I have to say, I know you don't like to talk about yourself, but it's especially relevant to you and men like you who went and, were asked to risk your lives and to kill other human beings and to really give up everything for the sake of this thing. And the disillusionment that I have noticed in men like you who've really done a lot for this enterprise and then come to the obvious conclusion that it's not exactly what it seems. I can't imagine living with that. I honestly can. And I sort of get the suicide rate. I'm just being honest. I get that. I mean, how much of that, I know this is a very complicated subject that you're deeply involved in, but how much of the despair and up to and including suicide comes from guys realizing, wow, maybe that wasn't worth it?
It's a hard question to answer because there's so much going on.
Yeah, I believe
you know what I mean. It definitely plays a role, but it's not the whole role.
I believe that.
You know, there's just they're now calling, especially for like special operations guys that have just done it over and over. Like we were talking about my interview with Tom Spooner, guys done over 1,000 hits, meaning he's hit 1,000+ targets. I mean, 1,000?
I think it's totally disgusting to do that to anybody, to ask any man to do that. That's too much. I'm sorry.
And then they kick you out. But it's what you did. It's how you did it. It's addiction to adrenaline. It's culture of being in that life. It's a very toxic fucking culture. It's the competitiveness that's ingrained in you from the time you show up day one, week one of training. It's who's the fastest runner, who's the fastest swimmer, who's the best shot, who's killed the most people, who's gone on the most ops, who's gone on the most high profile ops, who's got the most jumps, it's all that all the time. Every day you have to prove yourself to be there, which we had talked, at breakfast about egomaniacs in my community. And I've thought a lot about this, and I think that's where it stems from. I think it is the competitive nature is ingrained in you, and striving for perfection on day one, week one of training when you're going to become a special operator, though. And
I do. That's so clearly true and nicely put. You obviously thought about it a lot. I would just revise something that I said at breakfast, which was to describe people like that as egomaniacs or narcissists. I do think this is so obvious. It's just coming to me in the last few years, but like egomania is really insecurity masked. People who are comfortable with themselves, who really are deeply, first of all, you can feel it immediately. Someone is actually kind of content inside.
Mm-hmm.
It conveys it's a smell, and I can smell it like that. And it's the opposite of egomania. People like that do not, like the man you're talking about, Tom Spooner.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct? So I watched that. That guy, just through the screen, I could feel that man's like has achieved a high level of contentment or peace, or he's wrestled with things and settled a lot of things inside him. So I could just feel that coming off just on the screen. I could feel that. I don't know if that's true. I don't know. I never met him, but that was
true.
I got that vibe right through my phone watching that. Because I think it's that obvious. And it is the opposite of the way that people we describe as egomaniacs behave, which is constantly reminding you how great they are. Well, someone who actually thinks he's done an okay job or is at peace inside is never going to remind you that he's great, because it doesn't occur to him. He's focused on you or whatever. He doesn't need to do that. Like, what?
Yeah.
You're compensating. You feel like shit if you're doing that, actually. And competition makes you feel bad. Of course. Am I actually the fastest? I don't know. That's why I have to tell you that I am.
Yeah.
And it's sad when you start to see it that way. I don't like egomaniacs. I don't like people who can't stop talking about how great they are. I actually hate that more than almost anything. But in the last few years, I've decided, like, no, you should feel sad for people like that.
Thoughts?
Well, Tucker hit the nail on the head on a lot of things, and Sean Ryan was definitely helping to guide him some in terms of the fact that it plays a part. It plays a small part, but at the same time, I also know that they were evil people over there in Iraq. It specifically the Hussein clan, like
I know that.
not good people.
But did you see how Tucker kind of turned it around and got information from Sean Ryan?
Explain.
because he's there to be interviewed, but
Mhm.
then he started asking questions.
But he's a natural.
Exactly.
Yeah, he can't
It
help
was
himself.
great.
Yeah,
It was
he
great.
can't. He can't help himself. And yeah, that is great. Tucker is amazing, and he really has a way to communicate things and to make people actually start to ask questions and to think about things in a different way than they would otherwise. I love Tucker Carlson. I think he's great. He's been a gift to people. Becoming awake for so long, and those were some points that were brought up. It's like it does play a part. It's like, oh my God, I've been fighting for the wrong people this whole time, and that's a jagged little pill to swallow. That's a jagged little pill. It's like, oh wow, okay, so how do you deal with this one now? It is interesting, but Sean Ryan brought up some good points. It is a toxic work environment. It really is. It's something that should probably change, but at the same time, think about what it is these people are doing. They're basically being asked to go out there and take the life of another human being. So it is about one-upping other people, because in the end, if you plan on coming home, you have to be better than the people on the other side. And then Denise, I think it was Denise, brought up something about here we go. And you were broken to only trust those in charge. And see, that's kind of a misunderstanding, because I would say that there are a lot of people that will call out stupidity from those that are in charge very frequently, and it's actually kind of encouraged. And the way it's encouraged, obviously, you want to have tact while you do that, but at the same time, you are expected to think, because people's lives are on the line, and so it is important to bring up something where you see that there's improvement that's needed, and there's a time and a place for it. And sometimes you just need to bite your tongue and just get it done,
Yeah, you
and
don't
then
do it
come
in
back.
formation.
Yeah, you don't do it in formation in front of
Captain,
God
that's
and everybody.
the dumbest shit I ever
Yeah,
heard.
that's not how it works, obviously, because then you're challenging the entire structure of everything. But I will say that as long as it's not life threatening, you just go through it. So that way they can see that it wasn't the brightest idea possible, and not in order to sabotage anybody, but just to, okay, that's the way you want it done, then that's how we'll do it. You kind of, you do what you can. It's not blindly following orders. And this is one of the places where the American public needs to recognize that they can still have trust in the people that are in the military, because they still have a moral compass. They still know that this is about the Constitution, that this is about the people that are back home. And so if they do start to ask service members, will there be some clowns that will be, screw the American people, we need to enslave them. But
of course,
there's such a small portion that they would probably, they probably don't know any better now. With all the DEI training, it's probably emboldened some of the idiots. But with that being said, they will be informed thusly that the people, they don't have the support of those underneath them, because people do understand that it's about the Constitution first, and then the president and officers pointed over you. And so that is something to have faith in the service members.
Yes.
Yeah, have faith in the service members.
Yes. Exactly. Aaron says, I trust enlisted, not in officers, though. If all officers were from the ranks of the enlisted, or at least most of it, would be a different story.
I see what you're saying. I disagree.
I will say a Mustang, to me,
It's
seems
a different breed. So a Mustang for a lot of people,
breed.
because a lot of the branches don't use that term.
Okay.
So a Mustang is somebody who started out as an enlisted person and then went through and became an officer after the fact, after they had already done that. As a matter of fact, some of the officers that I just talked to one a couple months ago, great man. Certainly he was a Mustang, and he's just a good dude, and I have confidence because he is there. And I will say that those officers, are respected by the junior officers that were only officers and weren't enlisted before, because they will inform them. Keep in mind, part of this toxic workplace that is the military, there is that like he was going through a list. This person deployed more. This person went on this many missions. This person did this. This person did that. And the people who've done a lot of those things are the people who were enlisted first and then became officers. And those officers are teaching the younger generation of officers that haven't been through that, because they have that respect. Is it hero worship? Sometimes it can cross over into that unhealthy realm, but at the same time, they're very smart people that are trying to do what they can for the country. They are just as in love with this nation as the enlisted people are. So again, have faith and confidence. There's going to be a couple, and those couple of people are, and we're looking specifically, I'm pointing towards people like Millie. Those are the people that have recognized how to navigate the system, so that way they can get promoted super fast. They know the right ass to kiss or penis to suck. You know, I mean, that's obviously this is how things run in some little circles, right? I mean, we're finding this out about our government, that's kind of what you got to do to get on top is, you know, yeah. So that those people don't have the natural leadership ability. They don't have the respect of the people, but at the same time, they don't have the intestinal fortitude to be able to have that presence that's going to make everybody fall in line. This is not Napoleonic. This is not this is not a Napoleonic army. This is not the king's, you know, army, where, you know, it's all for the king, you know, stupid stuff like that. I will say that that is one of the huge benefits of the fact that we are a constitutional republic, for those in the back that may have forgotten that it's not a democracy. Anyways, so they understand that it's a constitutional republic, and that means that there are rules, and it's those rules that we hold dear, because that's the glue that keeps everything together.
Exactly. And I haven't done this in a long time, but I need to do it.
Uh-oh.
This show is for entertainment purposes only. The views expressed here are just our opinions. Be cool, enjoy the show, and we're making everything up.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, because there's some platforms.
Yeah.
Because freedom.
Freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Freedom! You know what you need when you're
exhausted from milk toast leadership?
You need some.
Probably need a good night's sleep.
You do.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm excited to bring you my Giza Dream bed sheets for the best offer ever. We're all experiencing unprecedented rising prices, but I was able to secure a limited amount of Giza cotton for a great price, and I'm going to pass those savings directly on to you. Get my Giza Dream bed sheets for as low as $29.98 with your promo code. They're the most luxurious sheets ever, made with the world's finest cotton, grown only in a region between the Sahara Desert, Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River, where the weather conditions are perfect for growing cotton. My sheets are ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable. I guarantee they'll be the most comfortable sheets you'll ever own. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save 50% on my Giza Dream bed sheets. That's as low as $29.98. Quantities are extremely limited at these amazing prices, so please order now.
And they are amazing sheets.
They are amazing sheets.
Amazing.
I Giza sheet about the Giza sheets.
You do. You do. We've had the set that is on our bed right now, we've had for 2 years, and they still look brand new.
They're great sheets.
They're amazing.
High quality. I know y'all have heard us talk about them, but we're going to talk about them again for just a minute, but we're not going to do it for too long. So with that being said, it's well worth the investment. And it is an investment in terms of something for the house and something to make your life a little bit better.
Comfort.
They're comfort. They breathe. They're cotton, so that natural fiber works better than anything man has come up with and probably ever will come up with because, well, it's natural. It's made by God. So we can have a little bit more confidence in that. And they are high quality, not so heavy that they feel like some kind of security blanket or anything, but not so light that you feel like it's like a toilet paper covering you. Like it actually breathes, and yet it still holds the heat in. They're absolutely wonderful. Yeah. So yeah, make sure that y'all are checking out mypillow.com/DTOO.
Exactly.
And if you don't do
Jenny.
that, if you need the phone number, it's 1-800-875-9849. And make sure you're using promo code DTOO.
Exactly.
Thank you.
You ready for some Kelly?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Can I show you something in the Bible I bet you've never caught before? Remember in Mark 10 where we find the healing of blind Bartimaeus? He was the blind guy sitting by the side of the road shouting, "Jesus, son of David, have mercy on me." You know the guy. You got this blind guy shouting by the road, but the disciples are like, "Be quiet, bro. Jesus doesn't have time for you." But Jesus is like, "Nah, I do have time for you. Come on." And then the disciples are like, "Hey, it's your lucky day." I mean, you know the story. But did you ever notice something strange about this story? Why does it mention his name? I mean, have you ever stopped to think about that? And not only why do we get to know his name, but why was blind Bartimaeus the first person to call Jesus the son of David? So what is the Bible trying to show us with these two things? First, let's look at his name. Can you give me the name of anyone else that Jesus healed? Now, I said healed, not raised from the dead. I know, you were already typing Lazarus, weren't you? Seriously, can you think of one? I'll wait. I mean, look, I couldn't think of one either. What was the woman's name with the issue of blood? What was Jairus' daughter's name? What was the man's name with the legion of demons? What was the guy's name that they lowered through the roof to Jesus? Oh, I know that one. His name was Matt. But you see where I'm going with this. If we don't get to know the names of almost every single person Jesus healed, then why do we get to know the name of blind Bartimaeus? First, we need to point out a few things. One, this is going to be my interpretation of what's going on, so take it for what it's worth. Secondly, his name isn't actually Bartimaeus like we think it is. You see, Bar means son of. So what this is actually saying is this is the blind son of Timaeus. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. So why do we need to know his dad's name? Well, we may not know all the names of the people Jesus healed in the New Testament, but whose names does it mention? Well, we know there was Jairus, the leader of a synagogue. We know about Gamaliel, a Jewish rabbi. And we even know Nicodemus, who was a big dog Pharisee in the Sanhedrin. It seems like the Bible mentions the names of very prominent and important religious leaders. You see, that's exactly who I think Timaeus was. Okay, where's your proof? What makes you think that, Kelly? I'm so glad you asked. I'll show you. It's the next part that gives it all away. Blind Bartimaeus cries out, "Son of David." Not Jesus, not teacher, not rabbi, son of David. Please don't miss the importance of this. The first time we see anybody called Jesus by this name is a blind guy sitting by the side of the road. But time out, we have to back up a little bit to really understand what's happening here. See, in 2 chapters before we get to blind Bartimaeus, in Mark 8, we see Jesus ask the disciples this question: "Who do people say I am?" And the disciples come back with, some say John the Baptist, some say Elisha. But then Jesus says, "Who do you say that I am?" You see, Jesus is asking us all that exact same question. And we're answering that question all day, every day. In every conversation we have, in every choice or action we make, we are answering the question of who we say Jesus is. You see, essentially, he's asking his disciples, what is your revelation of who I am? Who do you believe I am to you, and what do you believe I can do in you? And with our lives, we are answering that question 24/7. If we are constantly talking about and focused on our struggles, our worries, our stresses, what are we saying to the world we believe about Jesus? Our God is big, but my worry is bigger? Or are we constantly talking about how our God is bigger than any worry? Our God is bigger than any issue. He's bigger than any problem. What are our lives saying we believe about Jesus? Who have you been saying Jesus is? So with that in mind, why would blind Bartimaeus call Jesus the son of David? Well, if his dad was a religious leader or a Pharisee, I'm pretty sure that even though he's blind, he grew up hearing his dad read the Torah over and over and over. And I bet you anything he had heard the prophecies read over and over from Ezekiel 37 or 2 Samuel 7 about the coming Messiah being from the lineage of David. He had grown up hearing prophecy about Jesus, and now he hears about Jesus. And blind Bartimaeus said, I don't need to see to know exactly who this man is. And if I know who he is, I know what he can do for me. You see, he might have been blind, but he had more insight than anyone else. I mean, definitely more than the disciples in this story. He knew without seeing anything that Jesus was the Son of God. And if he needed sight or anything else, Jesus is the only person that can make it happen. You see, his faith was made known by calling Jesus Son of David. He was saying, I know who you are. I know where you came from. I know you're the Messiah. You are from the house of David. And what I need, you have. I'm getting my miracle today. So again, I say his faith was made known by answering the question, who do you say I am? Oh, I love this. So let me encourage you today. Who do you say Jesus is? Keep it on the front of your mind that with every thought, action, and word, you are telling the world and yourself who Jesus is to you and in your life. If you spend all of your time focusing on your struggles, your issues, your worries, get a better revelation of who Jesus is in your life today. He is the healer. He is your provider. He is the redeemer of all things. He is greater than your issues, and he's already overcome them all. And if Jesus overcame the world and now he lives in you, you can overcome it all as well. So let that be your new reality today. Walk away from this with a fresh perspective of who Jesus is in your life and go out and answer the question, who do you say Jesus is? And think about that for a minute.
Who do y'all say Jesus is? I'd like to hear that.
Yeah, I would too.
I mean, for me, it's a simple answer: the Son of God, Son of Man. You know, however you want to say
My
it.
Lord
I mean,
and Savior.
I mean, it all pretty much points to the same thing, right? And so that's our recognition of who he is. And so if we recognize about that man, you know, about Jesus, that he is in fact all of those people, then why do we worry about anything? And
I know.
that's a difficult one. I mean,
It
obviously,
is.
because we're used to living in the world, being of the world, and so we worry about worldly things.
Which
and
is
so
dumb.
well, it is dumb. But at the same time, that's part of the process
And
of
yes, I'm talking to
coming
me too.
to God. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, we're all kind of talking to ourselves
Yeah.
in the end. But it's that difficult process that we have to go through. That is, you know, purifying the gold 5 times.
You see Aaron's answer?
Pure love embodied. Beautiful. Exactly. Better than I know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I agree, Bethany. She says he talking about Kelly.
Yeah.
He blows my mind sometimes, and sometimes he's an amazing reminder of what we need to do.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
And it's so true, because when I and I'll be honest, you know, I try and get the videos. Bethany helps me so much, and so does Jenny, so that Santino can have the live react that we like. And when I was watching that earlier, I was like, he's so right. Why? Why do I let worry? And I had to watch it twice, and I was just like, I'm sorry, God.
Well, sorry.
Yes. Thank you for I'm not gonna. He knows what I'm saying anyway. It's not like I was gonna turn around and go, God, thank you for understanding that I'm a dumbass and I can't get worry out of my head.
Just batting 1,000 right
I
now.
know. She'll get me later. Don't worry about it.
All right. Well, hey, not only thank God
I
it's
know.
Bethany that's doing it.
I know.
So it's a process, and that's where we need to give ourselves grace. But at the same
do.
time, we need to kind of be harsh on ourselves and make sure that we are actually growing. What's that say? I can't even see that.
Allow yourself grace.
Oh, there you go. Allow yourself grace. We do need to allow ourselves grace. But at the same time, we need to make sure that we're continuing to grow. Not always
We
the
must
easiest,
grow.
but it is the thing to do.
And remember, ego is not your amigo.
Ego is not your amigo. 100%.
1,000%. Yeah. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I mean, it's gonna happen one way or another, right?
Yep. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Everyone to the White House. I'd like to briefly answer some questions. Go ahead.
Y'all see this? I've just given you a minute just so you can see this. Okay? Just giving you a minute. I want that to all sink in for you. Good morning. While other countries are literally training to bust us out of the, literally make us a crater, this is going, they're watching this. They're watching this and laughing at us. You see this. Okay. Greatest country in the world.
Thoughts?
Wait, that first part wasn't like JP Sears?
No.
It wasn't like one of JP Sears' little
No.
acolyte. It wasn't a random TikTok creator.
No.
No, that was somebody that they put up in the briefing room. Really? Like that's a thing they did?
Uh-huh.
I give them kudos
Why?
because they found a way to make it more ridiculous. Absolutely. What? Meanwhile, we're trying to pick a fight with Russia, and they're going to put that in the briefing room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. You know how when Japan bombed Pearl Harbor and they said, I think we just awoken a sleeping giant? Yeah, they don't care. They don't think that anymore.
That's funny. Like that's legitimately funny. Like I'm not even mad. Like I find that one hilarious. They are trolling. Not only are they trolling us, but they're trolling the people that they're putting up there, thinking that they're actually, in that position for real life. But it also shows us a lot of other things. What are all the things that we're learning right now that maybe that we should be more selective in terms of, like these are all indicators of the kinds of people that we put in our government to run it. You can live that way, but I just don't, I don't think that you have the ability to play the game at a global level. And that's because you're too worried about what gender you are. And what an awful dress. Like they can't even dress anymore. At least the trannies from back in yesteryear would make an effort. That's not even making an effort. That's just like Queer Eye for the Straight Guy was dope. It was F. Glenn. That was funny. Whoever wrote that part of the movie, I give you kudos because that was hilarious.
Are you ready?
Yeah, because that's even there's got to be one person on the left who woke up and saw that and said, "Oh wow, yeah, we're screwed. I'm gonna have to vote for Trump." Or you know what? I can't vote for Trump. I'll vote for Kennedy. Not a bright idea, but whatever. I'd rather you vote for Kennedy than Biden. That had to wake up at least one person from the left.
I hope so.
It had to.
I hope so. I hope so. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I got some more Tucker for you.
I'm an American. Every American has the right to say exactly what he thinks at all times, period. I thought that was the whole point of the country.
There were 23 different red states, including Texas and Greg Abbott, that said this: if you are a contractor and you work with the state, from now on, you have to sign a pledge that you do not believe in and will not participate in a boycott of the state of Israel.
What does that mean, a boycott? So you can't refuse to buy Israeli products?
Like, let's not invest in Israel. Let's not go to Israel. Let's not support its products in order to end the occupation and give the Palestinians a state. In the United States, in 24 different states, there's a law that says you cannot get a contract with the state unless you now sign this pledge saying you don't support this boycott and will not participate.
You have to sign a loyalty pledge to a foreign country?
Only one. This is the amazing thing. You're allowed to boycott any other country in the world, including your own. You can boycott Peru. You can boycott South Korea. You can say, I'm not going to buy Norwegian
good. You can boycott South Dakota.
Did he say 24 states?
He did.
Wow.
He did.
Huh. Let that one sink in. That one needs to be shared far and wide. Thank God Tucker's talking about
You
it.
know, if you have the time, you should go over to Tucker's channel and watch the whole interview.
Yeah.
It's really good.
That's it. It's absolutely unconscionable, and I don't even see how that hasn't been challenged in the Supreme Court at this point in time. It's how can you sign a pledge to a foreign nation before you can do business?
Mm-hmm.
Where is that constitutional? Thanks, lawyers.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, that is interesting. That is
24 states, not like 24.
I don't care if it's one, it's one
Half.
too many. Almost half. That is unbelievable. That is absolutely unbelievable that we got to that point where you basically have to pledge fealty to another nation. And you can say that you won't even sell your goods here in the US. Yeah, that's not going to end well for the people that voted for that one. I certainly have a feeling about that.
I know.
The people have to like there's so many people who don't like Israel right now because of the whole Palestinian thing. And I think that will certainly garner some favor from the pro-Palestinian people. But hopefully it will help them recognize that the problem is within and that it's not without, that the enemy has not only made it in the gates, like Troy and the Trojan horse, that's like a legit thing that's happened right now. That's why 24 states have made it so that way that they can vote in a law like that. That's something that will help bring people together of very different backgrounds and mentalities. Like it's like, look, I agree with you. I think that country is doing things all wrong, but the people I don't have a problem with. So we don't need to bomb anybody. We don't need to behead anybody. We don't need to do anything evil. We need to make sure that the problems are removed legally from where they're at. That evil needs to be rooted out and it needs to be cleaned out. And so that way we can get back to America being America again. Wow. Wow.
Amazing, isn't it?
That's unbelievable.
I know.
Like that one's a tough one to comprehend how we even got to that point. Like I felt that was a couple steps ahead, but apparently we're here now. Here we are.
Here we
Yay.
are.
Yay.
So, you ready?
Yeah.
I got Christian.
Okay.
Shout out.
There
Christian.
he is. What's up, Christian?
Let's
Hope you're
go.
doing good, brother.
According to Robert Hur's report, Joe Biden was deemed unfit to stand trial. So which is it? Unfit or cheap fakes?
You've probably heard of deep fakes, but just last week, as President Biden was at the G7 summit in Italy, cheap fake clips went viral on social media and were picked up by some news outlets. Take a look at this clip, for example. It shows Biden and other world leaders watching a skydiving demonstration before the president is seen walking away and looking in another direction. Outlets claimed that he was sort of just aimlessly wandering away. The clip amassed millions of views within just a few hours, when actually if you widen out, you can see that he was talking to one of the members of the military that was participating in that demonstration.
Why'd she go grab him then?
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Well, one, she didn't, if you widen the camera out, does she not understand the word zoom? Like that's something that everybody knows that it's called, is you zoom the camera out. So she's not
You
even
widen it out.
You widen it out. You got to widen the camera. Yeah, I'm sure she does that. But anyways, so who was that? ABC, CBS, NBC?
One of the
One of the legacy media.
MSLD. Yes.
Yeah, MSLSD, whatever it is. So that's it's such a weak argument. Your CBS or one of the legacy media, there was only one camera there.
Right.
To show us what he was really trying to do. Come on now.
Yeah.
Sell BS somewhere else. We know. And the fact that y'all are, keep him from sniffing the soldiers. It's probably what he was going to do. So this is a very weak attempt. These are like their fact checking attempts, and everybody was able to see. Everybody who was at least mildly awake was able to see that the fact checks were a bunch of crap, and the fact checks woke a lot of people up. If y'all will think back to when all the fact checking was going on, because that was being used as fodder all the time to put out there, and people were like, well, that doesn't make any sense because of this. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Why now are they, trying to explain away that this guy, is just randomly walking off and he has to have somebody point him back? He should know better, if he's the commander in chief of the military, that there is something going on, and he also knows that the main scene that because he's a TV guy, you don't get to be the president of the United States and not have a concept of where the scene is and where all the cameras are pointing, so that way you can focus and be in that scene to I guess spread your brand as a president, as somebody for the nation. So this guy, he's just off in la la land. He's stuck with the little squirrels in his head. He's got the squirrels, and he's like, oh, what's this over here? Wait, look, I can do that because I'm not the president of the United States, so I can squirrel out all I want. But when you're the president in a foreign land, you probably shouldn't be getting squirreled out, because that tells me you don't have the ability to focus on the things that you need to focus on when it needs some focus. And so it's just going to show more and more every single day. Obviously, the blind ones, I know, racist.
Facts are racist.
Facts are racist. So is this one going to wake some people up? Probably not. But at the same point in time, the people who are just starting, the people who are just starting to wake up, they're going to be seeing, oh my God, this has been going on this whole time. They got to keep doing the same things over and over again, because everybody's awake at a different level. Being awakened during this great awakening that we're going through, it's a staircase. It's not like an elevator. You don't just get all the downloads and root. You know absolutely everything. You got to go through the process. We've all been through this process, and we're still going through this process. So I think a lot of the times, that some of these like ridiculous things that we see are for the people who are just waking up, especially with that press conference. It's like not even trying anymore.
I know. You ready? I got something good. You ready?
Yeah, please.
Oops.
Listen, this is not politics. This is regular conversation. I've yet to meet. I absolutely adore this human being. Does anyone have a bumper sticker? I heart Joe. Anyone? No, you don't. No, you don't. This can't be real, what's going on. I don't even think that's a real human being. I call me a conspiracy theorist. Maybe it is. I don't think it is. I think it's a mask. I don't know. I just can't see. You can't. And when he read something and he reads pause.
4 more years. Pause.
That's another indicator, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah, Jim Brewer, he's another indicator that people are waking up, because comedy was always slanted so hard over to the left. You couldn't find a comedian. They wouldn't allow a comedian on stage that had anything resembling a conservative concept. And he just brought up a great point. I haven't even seen a Prius with a Biden sticker. I haven't seen not even a Prius. That should tell you where we're at nowadays, because even the Prius drivers don't have a, vote blue sticker anymore. Let that one sink in.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You ready?
Denise said, question, is it only the Japanese that throw shoes when a dignitary is insulting their country's culture? Hashtag make shoe throwing great again. And thank you for the donation. Actually, I don't think so. I think that that's pretty much a global thing, because I remember Bush had a shoe thrown at him as well. Throwing a shoe is a huge sign of disrespect. And so, yeah, I think that I think that it's not just limited to Asian countries. Denise says, I saw a Prius with a Joe and the Ho Gotta Go sticker, though.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
2007, Aaron says, 2007, George Carlin. And I think he acted left to be able to speak his mind on stage. I agree with you 100% on that one, Aaron. Although I do believe that George was probably more of what we would call a classical liberal, which would have been along the lines of Thomas Jefferson kind of liberal, old school liberal. So I think, but he did certainly kind of curate the things that he said so that he could get the voice that he could get.
Mm-hmm.
And why are we paying billions of dollars to Israel without getting anything in return under Bush, Obama, Trump, and Biden? So the way that scam, that Ponzi scheme has worked is we take our money, we send it to these foreign nations with the stipulation that they have to spend all of that on American companies. And so what happens is those they spend that money on select American companies, like just throw out like the military industrial complex. And then that money, that's how money laundering 101 works. As far as Trump, I don't know how much he did of that. But I will say, yes, a libertarian, Aaron. But I will say that that's something that's been going on a lot longer than the Bushes, Clinton. I think, I'm sure it happened under Reagan. There was the whole Iran Contra thing that was going on, and he did get tied up in that some. Carter. Name a president, and I can probably pretty much guarantee you that one had some kind of as long as we've been giving out foreign aid, that kind of thing was happening, and that's how friends pay their friends back. I would have liked Ron Paul too. America was not ready for Ron Paul in 2008. But the good thing about Ron Paul was, it was way too early because two people were too busy getting spun up in the savior Obama complex that America lost its mind with back then. But yeah, definitely could have ran with a Ron Paul, but they would have taken him out like Kennedy in a New York Minute.
Yeah.
Definitely. And these are the things that need to change. 100%. These are the things that need to change. We don't need to be giving out foreign aid to anybody. If people want to give out aid, do it like farm aid when we were growing up. Farm aid, you had all of these, that's when celebrities were actually kind of somewhat worth the crap, and they would put together this thing. How many singers or not? Well, there was Farm Aid and there was Live Aid because of the kids that were starving in Ethiopia. And so what happened? All of America came up with all of these donations, and they were supposedly sent over to help out Somalia. And then surprise, surprise, a couple of years later, there's overthrow and all that other crap. So, but we need to be more careful, and we need to get back to Americans being the charitable nation that we always used to be. But we need to be able to understand the charities that we're giving money to. We need to be able to have a lot more transparency with what a charity is supposed to be. And these are going to be some growing pains that we're going to have, but I think it will happen. And then Ross Perot, Denise says Ross Perot before that. Yeah, I actually worked for the Ross Perot campaign. And Ross Perot, yeah, he loved this country. For real, aid should be voluntary. 100%. If some Jewish billionaire wants to give their money to Israel, be my guest. Be our guest. Be our guest.
Be our guest. Be our guest. give your money to the best, whatever.
But the government takes it from under us, under the threat of violence. Boy, that's 100% true, and that's why the tax system that's purely just a theft, obviously, because we don't have a say. We can't, stop these wars that they're constantly trying to create. Those are things that need to end, and that's what we're really hoping for. But and I know that there's a lot of hope under President Trump, but I think that we need to have that be real hope, and that is he's not going to fix everything.
Right.
I don't think he can. I think it's something that we all have to press to get our rights and our sovereignty back as citizens. None of this, free citizen stuff there or whatever that's going on now. No, we need to get this country back to the principles that it's supposed to be.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
If they keep pitching me slow 16-inch fatties, I'm going to keep knocking them out of the park. And if you're new to what I do here, well, I've done a lot of these videos, and I'm going to try to not say any names here, but you get the picture. The picture that one guy is playing the other. And I always thought it was just when the one guy was falling, but oh no, it's more than that. Have you ever seen the movie Bruce Almighty? The one where a certain someone plays God? And hey, that's a nice globe they throw in there. Well, do you remember this scene where he is controlling his voice? Because it looks an awful lot like something I've seen that other guy do recently. And when you pair those two clips up side by side, there's no doubting the intentionality behind it. Because I lined this up without editing it, and the synchronicities are undeniable. Watch the handshake. Even here, he looks like he smells a fart when they're making a farting noise. Down to the hand movement yet again. And then next comes the exact same mouth movements at the exact same time, followed by the exact same grin at the end. It's undeniable. And if you're new to seeing the fact that they do this with these two guys, stick around. I'll show you some evidence that I've used in past videos. Look at this, guys. You don't see it? You're just choosing not to. And just to show you how far they go in this mockery, watch his face, like he looks like he smelled something at the same time of those noises.
I'm sorry, we seem to be having some technical difficulties. In other news, my apologies.
Like I said, if you're new here, it's not the first time they've done this. It's predictive programming. It's mockery. It's saying you're too dumb to realize that he is being played by him, and we're going to put it right in your face, and you're still not going to realize it. Even when there's a guy on social media pointing it out over and over and over again. But as always, I'm just here to entertain, and this is all for entertainment purposes. They don't really look anything alike. Definitely not side by side, having the same features. No, they're two totally separate people. Entertainment purposes only.
All right, Santino, thoughts?
I like the way he breaks those things down. And I like how it kind of shows that, yeah, maybe we are still seeing Jim Carrey, because we've seen a lot of actors play that role. I mean, how many different faces of Biden have we seen at this point in time?
A lot.
All right. So FD, bunch of D's. I don't know how to say that any better right now. He said, Trump won't, or they said, Trump won't fix anything. We had 4 years of Trump. Nothing happened. We don't have a wall. Schooling and taxing is still bad. We are still involved in a million foreign conflicts. Okay. There's a lot going on there. And you have to remember that if Trump had that ability to change all of those things the way we, the people, wanted them to be changed, then he wouldn't have had the election stolen from him. So clearly there was a lot more going on in the background that needed to be dealt with. And that's what we're seeing right now. And the fact that everything's getting so ridiculous and all of these things that we are seeing that don't make any sense, we have to be honest and we take a step back and we look at everything and we recognize that many, many, many more people have now decided that they're not going to vote for Biden. Some may vote for Kennedy, but a lot more have decided, you know what, Trump ain't that bad. I'm going to vote for Trump, because things were significantly better when Trump was in office. So imagine when Trump comes back into office and we have all of this evidence that's piling up that's showing how corrupt and how wrong the entire system is being run right now. When Trump gets back in office, he's going to have more ability to be able to deal with the tyrants and treasonous people that are in office, that are making the laws saying that you have to pledge fealty to Israel as opposed to being able to just do business because you're an American and you created a business. And so long as you're not hurting anybody, that should be acceptable. So we have to give some grace to Trump. I know that a lot of people don't want to do that because he didn't get all the things done that we wanted him to get done. But without a doubt, we have seen, what's up, Ghost Pepper? Without a doubt, we've seen a lot of people that have changed their mind over the past 3+ years since Biden's been in office. So we can expect things to be very different. A lot of the wall did get done, but we also have to recognize strategically that now those places where there are gaps in the wall is where more people will go. So it makes it easier for INS to be able to patrol less in so many vast, grand areas that they used to. So positive benefits did come about because of a lot of the things that Trump did. We may not be seeing 100% of the benefits that we'd like to see, but that does not mean that he didn't get anything done. And the fact that it was a lot better when he was here means that that he better perform significantly better this time around.
Exactly.
I missed what Aaron said.
Aaron said, thank you for discussing it rationally, though. We have a lot of people that just come here and can't discuss politely.
Yeah. And you know what? Thank you,
And-
Aaron, 100%,
Yeah.
because a lot of people don't disagree in a respectful manner. And I appreciate FD's the fact that
Yes.
you came here respectfully, and I would love to hash a lot of this stuff out.
Yeah.
And exactly, let's have a conversation, because that's the thing that they've wanted us to stop doing. And I would say that that's another success with everything that's going on, is that people are having a conversation where conversations were impossible before. So thank you very much for having that rational discussion.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Truly appreciate it. All right.
Yep. You ready?
Yeah.
You get 2 Kellys tonight, but I think it's important.
All right.
Ready?
Yep.
If you're watching this right now and you feel like the weight on your shoulders is about to crush you, I've got some really good news for you. Just let go. It was never yours to carry. And I know what you're thinking. Easier said than done, bro. And I hear what you're saying, but I think maybe you forgot. Psalms 23:1 tells you, the Lord is your shepherd. You shall not want. You see, I don't know about you, but it has always driven me crazy that the Bible refers to us as sheep. It's like, come on, God, couldn't you have picked a better animal? Something cool, like a cobra or a liger? Why do we gotta be sheep? Sheep are dumb. Sheep need help 24/7. Sheep can't do anything on their own. Okay, I guess it's not a bad comparison at all. You see, it used to bother me that the Bible called me a sheep, but it doesn't anymore, because God showed me why. Think about it like this. If you're gonna go on a trail ride and you've got to ride an animal, are you gonna pick a sheep? No. If you're going hiking up a mountain and you need an animal to carry all your gear for camping, are you gonna pick a sheep? No. Why not? Because sheep are not load-bearing creatures, and neither are you. You see, the Bible calls us sheep and tells us that Jesus is our shepherd for a reason, because all that weight that you're carrying, that feels like it's about to crush you, was never meant for you to carry. That is your shepherd's job. You see, as sheep, our job is to be loved, led, fed, and protected. Jesus will take care of all the rest. My Bible says that he is our provider. My Bible says I can have peace that passes all understanding if I'm getting it from him. My Bible says if I seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, all things will be provided for me. You see, the truth is, if you feel that weight on your shoulders today, that means that you're trying to do a job that was never asked of you. In God's word, he tells us to work and strive for only one thing, to rest in him. We need to always remember that he is our shepherd. And when we start to feel that weight, we need to remember we can give it right back to him and remind him, I can't carry this on my own. I need you. You see, the truth is, God is a gentleman. And if you want to try to fight your battles, fix your problems, try to deal with your sin, he'll let you. Or you can come to his throne and lay it all down in front of him and remind him, I can't do any of this, but I know you can. When you try to fight and fix things, you tie God's hands behind his back. When you let go of it, that's when he picks it up and does it for you. So let me encourage you today. Stop carrying that crushing weight. It was never yours to carry. Hand it to the shepherd today, and he will provide all your needs. Because when the Lord is your shepherd, you shall not want. And think about that for a minute.
So, thoughts?
I love that this gets brought up about sheep. They're not load-bearing animals. We're not supposed to be
Right.
carrying the weight. That, you know, we have our own things that we do. And I understand nobody likes being called a sheep. But at the same time, sometimes we need to recognize that, you know, maybe we are. And we have to recognize that sheep do have benefits that help protect them from the world around them. They are immune to snake bites. You know, we've covered that. That they, you know, get that real thick flock, and it protects them from some of the animals with horns, and protects them from so many other things, and teeth. Are they, you know, going out there and, you know, beating the world down? No, they're not. But they do provide a lot. And we need to recognize we are not necessarily the kind of like, our job in this whole thing isn't to go down and always kick down doors. You know, maybe some of us are door kickers, and that's okay, but you get to be in that world if that's the kind of thing you're doing. But at the same time, we are here to spread that love. We are here to be a community. That's what America always was. Is America is about citizens. Every citizen is equal. Every sheep is equal. Like, there's not, you know, an alpha sheep and an omega sheep or a beta sheep or anything like that. You know, those are all, you know, those are wolf analogies. So the analogy here is that we are a community of people, and that's a human being's natural state. Otherwise, civilization would not have been around for as long as it has. We are civil when we can actually be civil. And so we need to recognize that, and we need to gather around the people that are civil-minded as well. And that's where our strength is. You know, what was the movie? It was a Disney movie, Ants, where the grasshoppers rule over the ants, and then the ants, they're a community. And once the ants finally recognized that there were so many more of them, that they didn't have to listen to the crickets anymore, or the grasshoppers, then they were able to work in the community the way that they were always supposed to. And so we need to have that humility to say that it's not a dog eat dog world if we don't want it to be. And so that means that we can't act like the dog that's trying to eat the other dogs.
Hmm?
All right.
Exactly.
Okay, so obviously FDs has a lot of the contrarianness to them today. That's not true. The difference in genetic limitation between individuals is huge. Yes, it is. We're not going to really get into a genetic discussion here, but what I will say is that's kind of part of the whole thing. There's many different kinds of ants. There's many different, you know, you have your worker bees, you have your queen bees, you have your soldiers, you have your scouts, you have all these things. And so the point is that we are supposed to be civil and work with each other, and everybody's strengths overcome other people's weaknesses, just like everybody else that has other strengths covers the other people's weaknesses. It's about the community and working with each other. And these are the things that we need to get back to, because that is the thing that made America great, was each and every one of us. Not just one person that we all bow down to and say, you know, you are the chosen one. That's not who we are. That's not what America's about. And that's not what it's supposed to be about. But that's what they want. And that's what they've been given to us. We recognize that it doesn't work anymore. And so that's why we're trying to take our country back and make it the constitutional republic that it was designed to be.
Exactly. You ready?
Yep.
Let's go.
All right, let's do it.
So have you ever come across these people that thinks their opinion is some form of authority? Well, if you get out enough, you'll find these people everywhere. Bless their hearts. They can't help it. They were taught at a very young age that they were special, that, that they were important, and that their opinion actually meant something. Get a load of this. So my wife and I got back from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina last night. We stayed at the Hilton. My first morning there, I'm strolling the beach, enjoying a cigar, just enjoying myself. Now, I swear to God, this woman walked clean out of the Atlantic Ocean. I don't know where the hell she came from. Walked up to me as serious as a heart attack. Looks at me and says, well, you know there's other people on this beach. No shit. I'm ugly, not blind. What's your point? Well, don't you think you ought to put that out? No. I bought it to smoke it, and I'm going to do just that with or without your approval. I'm just going to put that up front now. Well, that might offend some people. Oh, and I saw. I've passed about 50 of them, and over half of them were either smoking e-cigarettes, cigarettes, or cigars themselves. Even if they were offended, I don't give a damn. I'm on vacation. I'm enjoying myself. Well, you're just a pompous ass. Well, I can't believe you. Listen, lady, try this on for size. This is a shoreline, okay? A short, not a pool, not a slip and slide, a shoreline that stretches from the state of Maine to the state of Florida, a shoreline. If this shoreline is not big enough for you to nonchalantly shut your mouth and let me enjoy my vacation, I think you might have a little bit too much mass on you. Well, this woman turned 50 shades of red. She didn't know what the hell to think. She'd never been told that. She'd never been told your opinion don't matter. I mean, she come clean out of her shoes, stomping off. You come across these people if you get out enough. But when you tell these people to fuck off, you got to dumb it down a little bit.
Beautifully stated. Beautifully stated. Well, and that's the problem, is everybody has started to think that they're in the ruling class. And that's because we've been programmed for so long to be nice. You can't say that. You're going to hurt somebody's feelings.
They need
and we had
participation.
Yeah, they needed the participate. Those are the people that got the participation trophy.
That is his real voice.
That is his real voice. But he is from Appalachia.
Yeah.
And very much so. Yeah.
Very
Sounds like
much so.
Foghorn Leghorn and everything. I
Yes.
think it's amazing. I love it. That or Doc Holliday. Either way. But the thing is a lot of these people haven't been told what they need to be told because we've been so non-confrontational. And was he confrontational? No. But people consider now being told the truth that, you know what? It's not your damn beach. Shut your mouth. If you don't like that, call the cops and see how this goes. Because there's nothing that says that I can't smoke a cigar on this beach. If I'm, putting it out on people's foreheads, yeah, that's a problem. But if you don't like the smoke, there's a lot of wind.
There's a lot of beach.
There's a lot of beach.
outside.
Relax, calm down. You don't have to impose your will on me. And that's where things have gotten out of control because of our desire to live courteously. We have allowed people to think that they have the right to tell other people, hey, Spoon, and thank you, new friend, for joining.
Yes.
A lot of people think that they have the right to tell people how they should or should not live their life when their opinion wasn't asked to begin with. They didn't recognize that they need to keep their mouth shut because, well, we haven't been saying anything. And so we need to understand our rights, and we need to understand that these people, you know what? Nobody asked your opinion.
Exactly.
You
Put a
can-
mask on. No.
No. And that's something that's going to be coming up soon. And I can tell you, me personally, I'm not putting a damn mask on.
No.
And if they want to say something, I'm going to say something like I did the last time. And we just need to have that self-confidence to say the things that need to be said, and have the faith that you're going to get backed up, that you will be backed up by other people that believe that you have a right to smoke a cigar on the beach, that you have a right to smoke a cigarette. You know, is it a healthy habit? No. But coming up to some random stranger that you don't know and tell them how they should live their life, probably isn't too healthy either. And that's the thing that people are going to start
No,
learning
Aaron.
here real quick. What?
No, Aaron. If I put
Oh,
a
if
mask
I put a
on,
mask
I'm
on,
going to be on the news.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
no,
let-
no, no,
that's
no.
that's not how we do it. No, that's no bueno.
No.
Just tell people no. Stick it where the
Just-
sun don't shine. I can tell you
Exactly.
where you can put your mask,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't have one.
Exactly.
Yeah. Steph says, I think people really overstep their boundaries and overstep the line on things that they don't like, or that things don't like it. Walk away, or how about just shut the frank up? Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
You know, is it a healthy habit? No. I smoke cigarettes and I try to be as courteous as I can about it. But at the same time, there's a lot of free space out here. And when we're outside, you know what? Go somewhere else outside, because there's a lot of square miles out here.
There is. There's a lot of desert.
That's a different time in Vegas. We don't do that anymore.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
When you see someone who is always calm, incredibly kind, and avoiding conflicts, be careful. This person notices everything. They remain silent because they know if they get angry, it will hurt. They keep everything inside, choosing to stay calm. But the day it explodes, it's a real storm. And the one who triggered that anger will bear the brunt. If you have watched this far drop a 100, it shows you're a part of the 1%.
So this one just kind of hit home because it's so true. I do try and control my anger. I am very much
A redhead.
a Scottish redhead Leo. And so when that anger comes out, you don't want to be the person that bears that brunt. And so you absolutely, I am learning how to control that. But I control it because there's a time and a place. And I would say most of the time, it is not the place. However, I will never, ever, ever let them run my life the way they did in 2020. It's never going to happen again. And that whoever tries it will get that brunt of anger. So what I have to say about this tonight is I love each and every one of you. Remember, anger is sometimes needed, but it's not needed most of the time. And remember, you don't need to ask for revenge because God's got it for you. But I will tell someone very matter-of-factly, and if I have to get angry, I will. You can take your fucking mask and shove it, because it's never going to happen again, and I'm not staying in my house, and you can kiss my ass. So, remember, use your anger for the right things and protect yourself.
And your loved ones.
Yes.
Do I get a seasoning?
Yes, seasoning.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to say that it's not about holding it in, because that's just dynamite with the fuse lit, and
Yes.
somebody will get the brunt of it that probably doesn't deserve it. So what does that mean? And this has been a long process for me because I used to be fueled off nicotine, caffeine, and hate. And I've been dealing with the hate, but I'm still working with the caffeine and nicotine. It kind of keeps the fuel tank going. Now, with that being said, dealing with the hate. Dealing with the hate is a long process. And what it boils down to in the end for me at this point in time is learning how to be able to say the things you need to say in a non-hateful kind of way, because we're trying to get people to wake up as opposed to trying to get people to get beat into submission. And a lot of America has been about getting beat into submission. So don't be using that hate. Use that as a guidance, as a compass within you that's letting you know that something is wrong. I'm not denying that anger could very well be righteous indignation. And if it is righteous indignation, and if it's righteous anger, then that's okay. But we have to find a way to say it with love, and that's our responsibility. And if things get stupid, we recognize that we've used love to the last resort and that the other people are the ones that chose hate. And that gives us the moral high ground. Are we looking for a moral high ground? I mean, we should be, but that shouldn't be the reason why we're doing something. We should be doing something because we know it's the right thing to do. And so we need to not let that anger fester within us, because that's not going to be helpful. We just need to learn how to communicate what the anger is trying to tell us in a much better way than we would otherwise. So with that being said, try to move forward in life with love and accept the fact that your anger is telling you something that you know deep down inside is wrong, and that's okay. And that it's okay to say something about it. It's just how we say it that matters. So I think I beat that dead horse enough, and it looks like it's about that time. So we would like to thank each and every one of you for joining us today on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, Rumble, and pill.net.
And if you haven't already, please take a moment and hit that thumbs up button. If you're on Rumble or YouTube, run over to Pill, take that red pill. And if you're on X, smash that heart. And we love each and every one of you more than you would ever imagine. And again, remember, don't look for revenge. That's the Lord's.
There you go. Vengeance is his.
Saith the Lord.
It's a tough one. But with that being said, it makes life a little bit easier. So we love you all. Have a great night. We'll see y'all on Monday. God bless and be safe.